Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading this is your December bonus reading, I should say. You have this Truth Be Told card and this Chop Wood card. The Truth Be Told card is about revealing your inner truth, which I'm pretty sure I said to you, there was something about that in your December reading, just the regular monthly reading. And so it could be time for you to kind of reveal your inner truth, which that can mean anything. That could be you, choosing to live your life how you want and not listening to other people. That could be you literally revealing an inner truth, or it could just be you doing more of the things that you want to do in your life at this time, which I think all that would be great. So, again, I think it is a time for that. The Chop Wood card is a card of getting work. I do think that you are going to be doing a lot of work just in general. It doesn't even, that Chop Wood card doesn't even surprise me right now. I think you're just going to be busy over the next few years anyway. So, there you go. You have the Eight of Swords. This is coming up in your current general energies. The Eight of Swords can represent self-imposed restriction. And I always say with the Eight of Swords that we have to stay open to all ways of doing things. And the Eight of Swords is basically only seeing one way of doing things when there are many ways that you can accomplish your goal or set yourself free if you're feeling stuck. So you just have to stay open with the Eight of Swords. The other thing is that she has a blindfold on. And sometimes I feel the blindfolds in the tarot represent needing to trust your intuition more. So again, your intuition could be telling you something and you might need to listen with this energy. Your crossing energy is the Four Wands. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross, and the Four Wands represents freedom. So the Eight of Swords is a lack of freedom or not being free, and the Four Wands says that you are probably wanting to set yourself free. And so it can represent marriage and all that other, happy stuff. But I think for a lot of you, this is more talking about setting yourself free in some way. Usually with the Four Wands, we have to complete one thing and get to the other side and celebrate with these people to be set free. So it looks to me like maybe you're wrapping something up in your life, like a certain stage of your life. It could even be like a divorce or something like that that's holding you back, or, something similar. And so I think a lot of you are kind of waiting to be set free here. For others, you might want the freedom to speak your truth as well. And in the area of what's on your mind, you have the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is like conflict or competition. And you might be worried that you will create a conflict if you share what's on your mind. But I think it's time for you to kind of like open up. This card there's this owl and it has like a door in its body there, and it's wide open. And so I think that you might be thinking that if you share your thoughts or if you share things with people that, it's going to cause conflict or cause a problem. But really, I think what you are sharing is your truth, and that's exactly what needs to happen. The Five of Wands also says that you have learned a lot from conflicts in your life. And, I always say that the fives in the tarot have very easy solutions. The Five of Wands is a great card for, taking what you have learned from conflict and applying it to your life, so that not only so that you can avoid future conflict, but so that you can be more successful. And so I think a lot of you are kind of reflecting on the things that you've learned based off the challenges that you've experienced. And this is probably leading to more success. We go straight to the Star card from the Five of Wands. So again, this could be a good thing. It's basically saying you've learned your lessons. You have the Eight of Wands in your foundation. I really like the Eight of Wands as a foundational energy. The Eight of Wands is quick success or a quick conclusion. And the Four of Wands is all about like needing to wrap something up. So, again, if there's something that you've been waiting to complete, or if there's something that you've been waiting to finish up, it looks to me like you are finally finishing something with the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is kind of like off to the races. It's like finally being set free and things are kind of moving forward again. All those wands are pointing in one direction. And so it kind of says that you're finally able to move forward, which is great. Next, in your past position, this is the energy that you are moving past. You have this exalted moon. It says self-regulation on it. You have this quick silver moon. It says changes on it. So a lot of you are moving past a lot of changes. I think you've had to learn self-regulation. I've definitely said this to you before, Virgo, and I'm cheating a little bit because you've dealt with some pretty significant astrology, I would say, that has to do with self-regulation, maybe. What I would say is, like, this is learning how to regulate your emotions in connections, for example, or learning not to get carried away in your emotions as well. And like I said, looking at your astrology over the past few years, I definitely feel you have learned how to regulate your emotions or how to not get swept away by your emotions as well. And of course, this is a good thing. You have the Hermit, which is you, also in the past position. So whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength, which is great. He also has the star in his lantern here. And in the very near future, you have the star. So he is holding that star in that lantern. And I always say that he needs to like shine that light bright. He needs to open that lantern up and let that star out. He need not just keep it hidden, right? And so the good news here is that you are going from like hermit mode, which is your natural state, which isn't a bad thing, but I think you're going from hermit mode to shining your light, which of course is going to be a good thing. Next, in the very near future, you have this unrevealed secrets card. It says, what is happening on the surface is not what you'll see if you dive deeper. You have a strategy card. It says, plan, scheme, strategize your future, and take the next right action for your life. And you have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords, it can definitely be a card of kind of having a strategy. She needs to have a strategy on how she sets herself free. So a lot of you are doing a lot of planning and thinking. And you also have the star card, of course, in the very near future. So like I said, I think you are shining your light bright. I do feel sometimes with the star that the star represents the big picture. We have this bird right here. And the bird is an ibis. The ibis is the bird of knowledge and wisdom. And the bird on the star card represents getting a bird's eye view, like looking at the full big picture of your life so that you can come up with a better plan on what you're going to do moving forward. And I definitely feel that it, of course, retrograde heavy time at the end of the year. Retrograde heavy times are amazing for planning, strategizing, reimagining, rethinking, replanning, redoing, pretty much anything. So I think that it would be an amazing time for you to kind of like look at the big picture of your life and say, am I getting closer to the star or am I getting farther away from the star? And whatever the answer is doesn't matter. But what does matter is that you do the things necessary to get closer to the star. The star is about having a North Star, having a guiding light, that one thing that you work towards in your life, so that you can find fulfillment or so that you can find wish fulfillment in the case of the star. And that's exactly what I would do here. Next, in the area of, that didn't work, in the area of your outcome position, you have this ponder card and this illuminate card. A lot of light showing up in the reading as well. So it might be a good time to think. The ponder card just represents like thinking about what you're doing. And like I said, retrograde times are perfect. It's perfectly acceptable to just sit and think about your life or about where you're going and to come up with a better plan. You have the star and you have this illuminate card, so it's definitely time to bring light to a situation, which could be your attention. Sometimes all we have to do is, bring our attention to what matters most to us, and then when we start thinking about it, we start taking action on it, and then we make it happen, whatever it is. So I think that, illuminating your thoughts is going to be the best thing for you. In the area of your very near future, the next few months, you have the Fool and you have the Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords did come up in reverse. I don't read reversals, I read energy, so, that's what I'll say there, but it is interesting. It came up in reverse. I actually don't even know how, because this deck was definitely not in reverse, but the Three of Swords in reverse can represent healing from a heartbreak, and a lot of you definitely could be going through a healing, and the Fool could just say that over the next few months, you are ready for a new beginning, or you are ready to take a leap of faith in a new direction. Of course, we are going through all these retrogrades over the next few months. And like I said, retrogrades are a great time for healing or revisiting something. And I'm not saying you're revisiting a person, but we can revisit a situation so that we can heal during retrograde. And again, I always say there's nothing wrong with thinking back to the past as long as you don't get stuck in the past, right? That's the big difference. So as long as you're not, just getting stuck in that energy and you're revisiting it to heal, that's perfectly fine. But the Fool definitely says you're ready for a new beginning. In the area of your closest relationships, you have love. You have the Lovers. So they're definitely, some of you I think already have a connection based off that Four of Wands. But so if you already have a connection, this could be really good for you. Could say that you're developing the connection or, bringing it to the next level. If you don't have a connection, you could definitely be meeting a new person, and it could be true love with the lovers. If you don't want love, and if you already have it, the lovers is also just love, like people that you love, because this is the area of all relationships. So you could be finding more support over the next few months, or you could just be, connecting with people who matter to you more over the next few months. And of course, that is always a good thing with the lovers. I also do feel something about a choice that you have to make. And if you are making an important decision over the next few months, then I feel there are going to be, I kind of feel like there is a person who is going to help guide you, especially if you're confused right now on what choice that you should make. It's almost like, let me say this. I feel like someone is giving you a lot of confidence, because this right here is, I don't really feel you're doubting yourself. I just think that you are maybe a little bit nervous about what will happen if you expose your truth, right? Or, if you tell people how you really feel, or something like that. It's almost like you're revealing something going this way, down here. Like maybe you have realized that you hate your job, right? And maybe you're afraid of what will happen if you tell your boss you hate your job and you're going to leave. Or maybe some of you have developed a following with the star card. So maybe you have social media, and maybe you want to change your messaging, and you're afraid of what will happen if you do that. But again, I kind of feel this could just be a person in your life, and it doesn't have to be love. It could be a person you do love. And I think this person is going to be helping you. So, allow help. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is really good for balance, and it really just says that you are feeling very balanced out over the next few months, which is great. You could be I get something about connection as well. You could be feeling more connected to yourself. There's this path right here, and there's this glowing crown. This is the path to glory. So it's basically the path to some sort of achievement or something you want. And I feel like you're feeling more connected to your path. And it's probably because you are admitting the truth, or you're more living your truth. It's like sometimes I think that our messaging, which I know I've said this to you before, Virgo, it's like I'm just getting the same message for you. It's like sometimes I think our messaging changes, as in what we believe changes. And then if we're afraid if we tell people what we believe that they're going to leave or whatever. And I feel like, but there's something about authenticity as well. It's like when you start speaking the truth, it's like, yeah, you might lose certain people, but at the same time, you're being more authentic, so you're actually attracting the right people. And I don't know, I feel like some of you need to hear that, for sure. Next, in your outcome position, you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, really taking the lead. The Two of Wands also, as an outcome card, really says to me that you're leveling up. He has built this castle that he is standing on top of, and this wand right here stands on its own. It kind of represents something being complete. And now he's reaching forward to this new wand, and he needs to create something new. He needs to get out into the world and have new experiences, and he's ready to just build his next thing. And that's kind of what I feel for you here, Virgo, is you are ready to build your next big adventure or your next big thing in your life. And I feel like that's what you're doing. Let's see. We're going to clarify now. With the Eight of Swords and the Four of Wands, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is a lot of imagining. I feel that some of you have done a lot of imagining over the past few years, imagining all these what ifs, or what if I did this with my life, or what if I did that. And it's everything is now coming together, and I feel like you're finally starting to take the things that you've imagined doing in your life, and you're actually doing them, which is great. We have the Star right next to it, and the Star is a dream. The Seven of Cups is also an imagination or a dream, but the Star is a little bit better for bringing that dream down to earth. Again, the Seven of Cups, he's dreaming of those cups, but there's good things and bad things in those cups, so he's not quite bringing it down to earth. The Star, she is pouring this water onto the land here, and the water comes from the pool of universal consciousness, and it basically says what's possible for one person is possible for everyone. I kind of feel like you're starting to believe more. You're starting to believe that you can actually accomplish your dream, which of course is a good thing. With the Five of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles. I'm laughing because Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? It says, are your beliefs cutting it any longer or not? And he's thinking about changing direction. So again, I think that this part of the reading is really saying that some of you are, it's not like you're changing your beliefs, but I think you are exposing your beliefs to the world, or, something, or you are more living in alignment. Again, if you have a job you don't like, I feel like some of you could be deciding finally to leave and go get something that you do like. Same thing with your messaging, like how you communicate with people. It's like maybe people believe that you're a certain way, but you're really different, and now you're communicating that. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is about feeling left out in the cold. Five of Pentacles has a very easy solution, like all fives. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. Make sure to focus on your strengths. And that's exactly what I would do with this Five of Pentacles, is I would make sure that you are focusing on the things that you're good at, or make sure you're focusing on the things that make you feel strong so that you can be more successful. And that's pretty much it. With the Hermit, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, improvements. Again, you've been through Hermit mode. You've been through all this learning that we talked about. You've climbed to the top of the mountain. You've found your inner light. You've been through the dark night of the soul. And so I think you are finally kind of at the calmer shores. Even if your life isn't perfect, life never is perfect. But, I think there are just general improvements here, which is good. With the Star card, you have the Nine of Wands. This is something you've wanted, is what I would say. The Nine of Wands says, do not give up. He has one more wand here that he's holding on to, and he's going to try to do something one last time. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like, this is about really, kind of like going for broke type of energy. And I'm not saying you're going to be broke, but, if you have a dream or something that you have tried to do in the past, I think like now is the time to like really double down on it and really make it happen. One thing I will say is we have Neptune and Pisces for another like year, basically until the beginning of 2026. And I would say, you probably have a couple years after that to still benefit from the energy. Neptune is a big planet. It takes a long time to move through a sign. I always say also, when a planet is going through a sign, we're learning the energy. When it leaves, we are still working with the energy. You don't just stop working with it. The planet goes through it, you learn it, and then you keep implementing it, right? Neptune is the big impossible dream. We have Saturn in Pisces, which says if you put the work in, you will have the big impossible dream. So I think you have a good few years here to put in, to really kind of like double down on that bigger vision for your life and to make it happen. With the Fool and the Three of Swords, you have the Page of Cups. Yes, new love. I basically said that. So, I think you're attracting a new person for those of you that want love. Even if you don't want love, I feel like you are attracting the right people that you will love. You are attracting love energy, which is great. Again, this doesn't have to be a romantic connections if you don't want it, but love energy is a good energy to attract into your life. So I feel like you are kind of attracting the right people who bring that love energy to you. With the Lovers, you have the Nine of Pentacles. I have found in my life that Virgos are very independent. So, you probably could be attracting a person who's also very independent. I think two independent people who don't need each other but want each other, is a very good connection to have. So you could be attracting a very independent person. I also feel like you're just, sometimes I feel with the Nine of Pentacles that she isn't really representing anything other than just being at the right place. It's like you kind of have your ducks in a row in the future. I think you're getting your ducks in the row. I think you're building a positive environment around yourself. And because of that, you could be attracting the right person, which is usually the case. With the Temperance card, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is all about following your heart. For like the next, until like 2033, we are in a very heart-based time. I think we should always follow our heart, but until 2033, it's like extra important that we really listen to what our heart wants and we move in that direction, because our heart will not steer us wrong. And when we go against the heart, then we're going to experience problems. So we really need to listen. Our heart is really telling us what to do right now, and I think the Queen of Cups is saying you need to listen. With the Two of Wands, you have the King of Cups. There you go. Divine counterparts right here. So your heart literally could be leading you towards a divine counterpart. Outside of love, the King of Cups is your emotions. And I think you've learned a lot about your emotions and about how you feel about things. And you really need to trust your emotions as well. You have this innovation card. We're in an extremely innovative time, Pluto and Aquarius. So any innovative, unique ideas that you have for your life or your business or your career or your love life, I would definitely be innovating right now and experimenting as much as possible. You have this Power card. I do think you are gaining power because you have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands really says to me that you're leveling up. Again, he's built his one castle, but he kind of learned everything he needed to learn from that castle. So now it's time to build a new kingdom here, Virgo, and I think that's what you are doing with this whole entire reading. Here you go. You have this achievement card. Definitely some big achievements coming in for you, or you could be working towards a new achievement with the two wands, with the world in his hands. The world represents an achievement or something that he wants to achieve. Next, you have two cards. You have this order and this convention card. It's weird that a lot of people have had these cards of order in this set of readings already. So I would do things in order. The convention card is about doing what works. So, I think that you need to keep doing whatever is working in your life. And finally, you have this patience card. I feel like you have been very patient. This could be love because, this is one of my cards that says you've been patient for the right connection. You could be attracting a Taurus or a Leo into your life if you want love, or you could already have one of those signs in your life. I feel like you've been patient. It's kind of like saying to me that your patience is paying off. But this is a really good reading here, Virgo. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.